be so many newspapers, it'll knock your socks off. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sign in again. P. ProQuest. Alright? So I go into ProQuest and I'm going to do the same thing. CSX. Now these are newspapers. All dates, full text documents only. Search. Again, I have no idea what's going to come up. I expect there's going to be a lot, however. 5,559 documents have just been found on CSX. If I'm looking for any news on CSX, I'm going to find it. And what's the first thing I see? February 26, 2010, an article from the St. Petersburg Times in Florida. So I'm going to see where the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. If I look, I'm going to find the Wall Street Journal, Houston Chronicle, and so on and so forth. I'm going to find all these articles that have been written about it. Let's open this one. Ex-workers say asbestos at CSX caused cancer. Why would I care? Well, if I'm going to invest in CSX, I'd kind of like to know if there's a possible legal problem for it. Is it going to have to pay out all its money in compensation claims to workers who are now dying of cancer from asbestos? And here we go. 4 employees sued the railroad Wednesday. Doesn't tell you whether or not they've won or they've lost. But the point is, now I know that there's a risk that CSX has to contend with, and it's this suit. Now I'm going to the 10K. This could go very much against CSX. And because it's new, it's not going to be in the 10K. But I want to show you what you can find there. Back to the library, back to databases, and now I want M.
How often, I'm sorry,
merging.
How often are the 10Ks filed?
10Ks are annual.
Are they all for every company around the same time of the year?
Generally speaking, yes. They're based, if most companies have calendar years ending December 31st. Anybody who does not have a year ending December 31st is called fiscal. So you could have a year ending February or September, but it will be a 12-month period. We go to Mergent. I got to sign in again. If I look at the screen that's coming up here, I see a whole bunch of tabs along this line. The one I want is the one called Edgar Search. Because I want the 10K, I'm almost always going to have to take 12 months. The ticker is CSX. I'm going to do two things here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select all, and this relates to a question that was just asked a couple of minutes ago about Form 4s. So, and I'm not going to, can I get them? Form 4s? I don't see them. They're probably in here, I just don't see them, so I'm going with all.
Insider trading? Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
It says it, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. When I selected everything, you can see there's 25 items on this page. There's at least 5 pages here. At 25 items per page, it says that within the last year, assuming there's no more than 5, CSX has made 125 filings with the SEC. Every filing that this company makes is here. Every filing that every publicly traded company in the United States makes is here. So, I want to know what the insiders are doing, and I can find that by going to Form 4. And if I look at this, let me drop this down a bit, look at all these filings. Form 4s, 121, 2010, 212, 2010. I'm just going to take one at random. I have no idea who this is. This was done in February. This looks like February 12th.
Wow. Which one did you pick?
I don't, whatever, like the third one, the fourth one, the second one, I don't know.
Wow.
Form 4, CSX. Who's the insider? Donald Shepard, a director, acquired 3,100 shares of CSX. On its face, that's not bad news. It says this director is acquiring shares. Well, guess what? What's somebody else doing? So I'm going to go to this one. I have no idea who this is.
It's not letting me open it.
This one is Alexandre Bering, another director, acquired 3,100 shares of CSX. The directors, it appears, are acquiring. Let me just pick one from the middle. I'd like to find an officer instead of a director. I'm going to assume this is an officer, but again, I don't know.
I don't know why it's not letting me open it.
I don't know.
It can never.
This it happens to be another director, Edward Kelly, and this director acquired 3,100 shares. It looks like all the directors got 3,100 shares. Let me go pick another month. There's one from January. Let's see.
There's a man called Ward Michael J. He's the director and the officer,
All right, that's good.
and he bought around the same amount.
But this one's January 21st. Here we go. Officer and director Michael Warden picked the same one. He also bought. Look at this. He acquired. What the heck is that? I don't remember what that is. I have to look that up. He acquired 86,000 shares at 50, and he sold 29,000 shares at 50. So he's got, and his ownership is direct. He has sold 30,000 shares that he owned, and he bought 86,000 shares more. So he's up 50,000 shares.
Where does it say that he sold that?
Right here, the D. Common stock, the second line. Right here. If I look at section 4 here, it says securities acquired A, disposed D. Now, I don't know what price he bought these shares that he disposed of at 50.51, but he turned around and he bought 86,000 more. So he's up 50,000 shares after the deal. So you know it. Well, you don't know, but you have a suspicion that, here we go. He had, before this deal, after he sold his 30,000, he still had 235,000 shares. He ends up with 265,000 shares at the end of the day. So his holdings are going up. So he's the chairman, president, and CEO, this guy Ward. It's over here in the title. So we know the officers are buying the stock, the directors are buying the stock, the insiders are buying the stock. Is there a signal here? I contend the signal is they like the stock. If they're willing to put their own money into it, what does that say they think is the future of this company?
No question. And how do you look for up and coming companies?
Oh, that's a tough one. I start with things that appeal to me.
Yeah, you said that, but like an example would be, what if nothing appeals to me that I want to invest in stock?
You got a problem.
How would I? No, like an example is like I
You'd
wanna-
have to think of something.